Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The world of crypto was a bit volatile today, although not quite as crazy as some analysts thought it could get. I'll explain exactly why that is. I also have perspective from 4 different XRP chart analysts, including one who's questioning if there's going to be a, quote, big pop soon, and certainly thinks that that may be in the works here. Plenty to break down. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just more fun. And so at the time I'm recording this, by the way, it is 9:01 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone, on Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. XRP just a hair shy of 49 cents. Bitcoin a little over $68,000. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 70 out of 100. And so we're in greed still. But if you've been paying attention to crypto price action, I mean, nothing crazy. You can look at here's 24-hour chart for Bitcoin. Nothing crazy, but we did have some pretty steep moves, including this morning at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Now, why did that happen? Well, that's because the CPI numbers came out and the market got all excited, got all hot and bothered by it. Look at this. The headline from CNBC, inflation slows in May with consumer prices up 3.3% from a year ago. And they note that this is 0.1% below market expectations, so performed better. Market shot up this morning. It was short-lived, though. And why? Well, because we had some announcement from Jerome Powell, Fed stuff, FOMC day. Here's the headline from CNBC. Fed recap. Chair Powell explains why the central bank isn't ready yet to cut rates. And so the current range is from 5.25% to 5.5%. That remains unchanged, which is what the market was expecting. That part was expected. But as you can see here, it revised its outlook for rate cuts to just 1 in 2024. Market didn't seem to like that, and we saw a move to the downside as soon as this news broke. You can look at when this started happening. So as far as when the news broke about the rates staying the same, which again was expected, that was either at 1 p.m. Central or maybe it was 1:15. It was right around there that news broke, and then it was 1:30 p.m. Central when Jerome Powell came out. And you can see shortly after he started talking, markets started a tanking as he was fleshing out his thoughts here. Not the end of the world. And I also find it interesting that this rarely happens. Like, I knew it was rare to have a CPI report and Fed policy meeting falling on the same day, but I didn't realize how rare it was. And as it turns out, according to this article from Morningstar, it's only happened 13 times since 2008. So take it for what it's worth. But as noted by chart analyst Jelly, he said Powell was definitely less optimistic than people, including myself, expected. And so that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't change anything on a macro scale, higher time frame. We are in a bull market. This thing's still going to go. It's just that on days like this, FOMC days, CPI days, you do see volatility. So I mentioned yesterday, like, you absolutely should expect to see some volatility, and it was sharp at moments throughout the day, but really nothing that crazy. I also shared this because I don't really care for the Fed tinkering the way that they do. I think it's a messed up system here, and so I shared this post this morning. I said, it's messed up that the Fed has this type of power and influence over markets. We'd be better off if they couldn't tinker with anything. Just let markets be markets, unfettered. Happy FOMC day. So last part sarcastic. Freaking FOMC. It's just the whole system is stupid. STOOPID, stupid. We don't need them doing what they're doing. If they didn't do anything, we'd be better off. It's just so weird. The whole thing, we sit around and we wait to see what the Fed chair has to say on television, and then markets respond accordingly. Like, we don't need that. We really don't. I wish markets could just be markets without the government having its hand on the scale as much as it does. Just a personal opinion. Is what it is. I know it's not going to be changing, but I just thought I'd bitch about it for a second here, because it's my channel, damn it, and I do what I won't. Here's some cool news. Take a look at this from on-chain analytics firm Santiment. They posted this a little less than an hour ago. Bitcoin supply on exchanges has now dropped to its lowest level since December 2021, 942,000 coins. Meanwhile, Ethereum and Tether are moving back on. Historically, there is less drop-off risk for all of crypto, while Bitcoin's available supply to be sold is limited. And so that is indeed the case. When you see Bitcoin flying off exchanges, it's not as likely that you're going to see some sort of mass sell-off. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto, and this is from 4 days ago. I'm not going to read it. I actually covered this in a previous video, but I just wanted to note that he was warning it is possible that you see Bitcoin perhaps go as low as, $62,000 to $63,000. And he said the downside was limited to $60,000, which is his invalidation level. And he reposted that today and wrote the following just a couple hours ago. He said, "Been 4 days since this tweet. At the moment, still thinking we have about 5 days or so of chop on Bitcoin. In that time, looking for some alts like Solana, Doge, and others in a similar position to make those final legs up. Then Bitcoin erupts to the upside as these alts put in their local tops. A passing of the torch back to the king." And so, obviously we're not in alt season right now, but there have been individual coins that have been popping off, and we talked about those. But setting that aside, what I do find most interesting is what Bitcoin does next. And so he thinks it's a virtual inevitability that sooner than later we're going to see a move for Bitcoin to the upside. And this will be fantastic for the entire market. A lot of analysts out there think that Bitcoin dominance has already seen its peak. Not all agree, but a lot of analysts out there do think that that's in. And that's always good. When that moment happens, that just means more money is going to be flowing into altcoins, even if Bitcoin continues to move upwards in terms of price action, which why wouldn't it? I certainly anticipate that's what's most probable anyway. But Credible Crypto, I think he's one of the best out there. He's one more analyst that's he seems to have high conviction that we're going to be seeing some moves sooner than later. Here's a post from chart analyst Tech Dev, and he wrote, "How much clearer does it need to be?" So he's showing us this is a Bitcoin USD chart. That's what the white line is. But then this red line is the SAR. And since I'm not a chart guy, I didn't remember exactly what that was. So I just pulled it up for the purposes of this video. But basically, it's a trend indicator. And so for people like me, and I think most people out there listening who are not chart analysts, you only need to understand that basic concept. And so here I just went to Investopedia, and they explain what this is. The parabolic SAR indicator, developed by J. Wells Wilder, is used by traders to determine trend direction and potential reversals in price. So just bare bones, that's all we need to know. If you want to actually understand what this is, go to a different channel. I'm not a chart guy. I don't care. It bores me to tears. I don't want to be that. But I do understand the basics so that I can understand the points that are being made here. And so this particular metric, you can see where we are at right now for this market cycle. And then he highlighted with this green circle that exact moment in time for the previous 3 cycles. And he's saying, you can see with a point he's making, it's that this repeats. History just keeps repeating here. And so what he's pointing out is that, from the moment Bitcoin breaks out, so you can look at these green circles right here, and it's happening right as the SAR is moving to the downside. It takes about one year, actually for 3 of these market cycles, it took exactly 1 year from that moment, from where he says the beginning point is, took 1 year for Bitcoin to hit its peak for that cycle. So if this holds true for this cycle as well, then we could expect Bitcoin to peak in late 2024 or early 2025. And so that's why he said, again, how much clearer does it need to be? And in recent days, he's been sharing all sorts of charts, just dropping data saying, hey, here's what's happening right now. Here's how it compares to the past. All sorts of stuff. Bollinger Bands for the entire crypto asset class, for Bitcoin specifically. This time is not different. This is an exciting time to be in crypto, which is why I wanted to highlight this. Here's a post, another one from TechDev, and I actually shared this, but there's a reason I'm highlighting this again, which is to make a point that I continue to see all sorts of analysts highlighting this, but this post was from June 1st, and TechDev wrote, significant. Bitcoin has only seen blow-off tops after breakouts against M1 money supply, and the longer it's consolidated, the longer it's run. This breakout follows the longest consolidation yet. And so here you can see, yes, we had a market cycle in 2021, although technically not even everyone agrees with that. Some are arguing that this is actually just part of a bigger cycle that started back in 2018. And okay, I don't pretend to know for sure if that's true or false, but that's in line with what Credible Crypto has been arguing for over half a decade at this point, and maybe he is right, we'll find out. But either way, he's noting that there wasn't a true blow-off top, in his estimation, in 2021. And I do remember in 2021 that there was a lot of excitement. Obviously, there was the laser eyes, the diamond hands, the celebrities jumping into crypto again. There was that. But I will say that it was very common for a typical person to think, where's the blow-off top? People were expecting something more, including from altcoins. And it is true that, price action, if you're looking at altcoins, 2021 compared to 2017, definitely not as fierce. And not in fact, most coins didn't hit new all-time highs, even though the entire asset class moved in tandem, but most didn't. And so there are just some things that some people thought were a little bit different. And so it's somewhat subjective. Was that a blow-off top? Was it not? Ask a different person, get a different answer. Here he's saying no, and he's arguing that it has to do with the M1 money supply, which is, the money out there that's the most liquid. And I mentioned this in another video, maybe, I don't know if it was a week or so ago. I mean, I covered this when it was fresh. Excuse me, folks. But I've been seeing a lot of analysts making this point. Here's one of the latest examples, chart analyst Tony Severino, and he said, total crypto market cap versus M1, 2020/2021 was not a true bull market, but the result of monetary expansion. Bull markets make new highs. And so he's getting at, obviously, is the degree to which the dollar was debased, meaning money printed into oblivion, money printer go burr, that whole thing. That was a major impact as far as what we saw right here. But he says, not a true bull market when you price the entire crypto asset class against M1. So take it for what it's worth. I'm just highlighting that I keep seeing this. And if you go back to this tech dev chart, I mean, he's pointing out that we haven't actually seen, in this case, this breakout, Bitcoin against M1 money supply, we haven't seen that since 2017. And when we did see that, well, you know what 2017 was, right? Even if you weren't here, you must have heard, the fabled stories, right? I mean, it was totally crazy. And I was only there for the tail end of it. I was actually, what a weird time to jump into crypto, honestly. I jumped in November 10th of 2017, right in time for the most euphoric part of the entire cycle. What a weird time to happen to jump into crypto. It was a lot of fun and exciting, though. Then there was also this, Tony Severino, talking about XRP. He seems to be thinking that it's probable that we're going to see a notable pop sooner than later. At least he's questioning it. He says, it won't take much for XRP to break up out of 2-month RSI downtrend resistance. Do we get a big pop soon? And so he's been very bullish on XRP, and I understand, the breakdown in sentiment. I understand it's the worst that I've ever seen it, even though I don't think most people are absolutely devastated in the XRP community. It's just, like I always say, the most weak-willed are the loudest, and they'll just bitch up a storm, and then it gives this impression that that's what everyone in the XRP community feels when it's not the case. But XRP cannot and will not stay down here forever. Even if it continues in the short term to lose ground against Bitcoin, it's not going to matter. XRP always has found a bottom against Bitcoin in bull markets. This time will not be different. XRP will put Bitcoin to shame in terms of performance. You'll see that by the time this market cycle's over. That's what I believe anyway. That's what I think is most probable. XRP is going to hit a new all-time high, enter price discovery, and melt faces. That is my expectations. And if I'm wrong, then I'll just be a sad panda. But I don't think that's what's probable. Here's a post from chart analyst Cryptos from this morning. He said, XRP bouncing again on our reversal trend line. Send it. And so he's very optimistic. He's been optimistic for the short, certainly the short term, he's optimistic big picture as well. But, he called the bottom. We'll see if this ends up being the case. But for XRP priced against the dollar, he called the bottom on April 13th when it got down to 41 cents. Most recently, it got down as low as about 45 cents. And he's like, yeah, that was the bottom. So locally. And so move to the upside. Here is a post from XRP chart analyst Dark Defender. So this is XRP USD chart. And he wrote the following. And this is just from this morning. Imagine you are in 2017, tired of price fluctuations for years. You sell it for nothing just before XRP hits $3.82. Now, folks, tons of people did that. Oh, yeah. Because, so XRP was about half a penny when 2017 started. Then several months later, it ran up to 42 cents, its highest price ever. Before that, I could be mistaken, but I think the highest XRP had ever gotten was, again, I could be wrong, but I think 6 cents maybe. And that was short-lived, and then it went right back on down to where it was. And so people were holding XRP for years and years and years. And then finally it goes after half a decade, right? That is how long the earliest adopters had to wait. And so that happened, and then it went back down to, I can't remember exactly how low it got, 15 cents, whatever it was, mostly hovering around 20-something cents for the next half a year. And this is happening as all sorts of other altcoins popping off. And so people are like, well, as this XRP thing, it's not doing anything. My God, the opportunity cost. I wasted this opportunity. And all sorts of people sold, and then it melted faces, went on its biggest run in history, up 80,000% roughly for the cycle. Absolute insanity. And so that should be a lesson to people. Like, you can't time markets. Either you have exposure when it goes or you don't. And since you don't know when various coins are going to pop, who cares? You just have exposure to the asset class, however many different assets you want to hold, and then just go. And then when price is high enough that it's enticing you to sell, if you want to, then go ahead. Do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't know what's best for you personally, but I'm just telling you, like, this is the way that I approach the crypto markets. It seems to make sense. XRP absolutely cannot stay here forever. So either we're all wrong and XRP ceases to be used by anyone, including businesses, and it all just goes away after over a decade and it goes to zero, or we're right and eventually it will hit a new all-time high. And we're in a bull market. So I say we're going to find out very, very soon. And so then he said, it is 2024 and XRP has formed a similar pattern, making us feel the same as we did in 2017. On the weekly time frame, XRP stands above the support once again. Our indicator is close to oversold again, as weeks before and pending for reversal. Otherwise, it would be hard for XRP to continue the uptrend. I've highlighted how many times we had the similar indicator and support pattern matched to the current position. The other side of the orange line, the resistance stands around $1. It will be easy above 66.4 cents and $1. So, he's certainly obviously very optimistic, and in terms of sentiment, he's obviously right. I mean, people were burnt out in 2017, and I didn't get to witness that portion of it firsthand. I saw some of it, but only for about a month of it. But XRP again moving sideways for about half a freaking year after hitting that high of 42 or 43 cents in the first several months of 2017. Well, we haven't even had the first leg up for this cycle for XRP. My God, people are beaten down. Some people, anyway. Not me. This is the most optimistic I've ever been as an XRP holder, and I've been holding XRP for 6.5 years, roughly. So I'm excited for this. I am really looking forward to this because although nobody can know for sure what's going to happen, I have very strong suspicions that we are in store for some incredible things. If history just kind of rhymes, like it typically does, if it just kind of rhymes with itself, I mean, you go back to what Tech Dev said. Where's that post? He simply said, how much clearer does it need to be? Well, what do you guys think? I mean, it looks pretty damn clear to me. It's not like this is an absolute guarantee, but the market keeps behaving about the same. Is this compelling information? I mean, I think it's compelling. That's why I'm sharing it on my damn channel. Lambo channel with a silly ass name. Best channel on all the YouTubes, though. But yes, how could you not be excited here? Do you have a pulse? This is incredible. And then there's this from chart analyst Crypto Wizard. XRP says, XRP daily technical outlook. XRP closed green, and one more bullish daily candle will offer a bullish rally towards the 56.5 cent resistance. And he posted that now just over an hour ago, 8:15 p.m. Central. So optimistic in the short term, too. So we'll see what happens here. We're going to find out together. I'm expecting incredible things, and I think that this year, or even if it does bleed into early 2025, this is going to be life-changing for so many people. And I hope for myself as well. I hope for you listening. And And if, I mean, fine, we could all be wrong. Maybe we're also a bunch of crazy people on the internet talking about magic internet money. I don't think that's the case. There's too much data showing how humans behave. We know how humans behave in speculative markets. We know what happens with these liquidity cycles. We know what happens when people get bullish. We know what happens when people FOMO into stuff. This is going to get way bigger before the bubble fully inflates and pops. There's so much opportunity here. I'm just excited for it. So I hope you are too. Even on a day like this where there's a little bit of volatility and some people are a little bit disappointed, I'm like, whatever. FOMC, CPI day, whatever. It's not going to matter in the end. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.